John Bolton once made an astonishing point about Britain's bright future the day after the EU referendum in 2016 in an unearthed interview. Mr. Bolton has hit the headlines recently after releasing his explosive book, The Room Where It Happened, which exposes what life was like for him as Donald Trump's national security advisor. Considered a war hawk within the Trump administration, Mr. Bolton often came to blows with the U.S. president and left his position in 2019 after a year. Yet, both the U.S. President and Mr. Bolton have shown their support for Brexit, with Mr. Trump claiming from the start of the Leave campaign that the UK would be better off without the EU. As the UK stands its grounds in the tense trade talks with Brussels this month, a throwback interview has revealed how Mr. Bolton predicted Britain had a prosperous future away from the bloc just a day after the 2016 referendum. Speaking to Fox News, he explained that Britons had wanted Brexit because of their desire to be self-governing. He said, "I know the tendency is to put everything into the focus of what's happening today in the US, but this debate has been going on in Britain for 43 years. There was great reluctance to get into the European Union and it has never abated." Mr. Bolton continued, "Britain can now rid itself of the sclerotic, over-regulation of Brussels bureaucrats. It can reduce taxes, reduce regulations, it can be a much more attractive place for foreign investment." He pointed out how the debate then intensified following the Maastricht Treaty of 1992 and the decision to reject the euro. Mr. Bolton remarked how Brexit reflects deeply held views in the UK that actually, they like governing themselves. He added, "How's that for a radical thought?" When asked what might have pushed the British into voting against the EU after so many years of discontent, he said, "David Cameron made a huge mistake in the 2015 election by promising the referendum and by saying he would renegotiate a fundamental change in the relationship between the UK and the EU. He failed to get that in the negotiation, and I think that convinced many Brits that there is no effective way to reform the EU." He also points out the 48% who voted to remain were not actually a pro-EU group. Mr. Bolton said, "That's a vote against the uncertainty.